You know what? I would love to be. I think I'm a bit of a frustrated rock goddess. I think I should have been a rock star.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman,
And if you were just
Logan
trying to
Crawford.
investigators, they now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we meet an unforgettable little Chihuahua whose journey from shelter pup to bushland adventurer is melting hearts around the globe. The name of the book, Floki, the story of a fluffy little rescue Chihuahua. It is written by a terrific author. Her name is Hedges, and in the book she tells the joyful, bouncy, and heart-filled tale of a tiny dog searching for his special superpower. With gorgeous, whimsical illustrations, this story celebrates rescue pets, belonging, and the magic that happens when you finally find your forever family. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Di, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Good morning, Logan from Sydney, Australia. Hello, New York. Hello,
Good,
Logan.
good morning to the land down under. Happy to have you on the show today. Happy that you got up early to speak with us. This is such a delightful story. I got a feeling it's based on a real life rescue pup. Tell us about the backstory of the inspiration behind Floki's story.
Not a problem. You're absolutely correct, Logan. We adopted little Floki. We had room for one more. We always figure we have room for one more. And we already had 3 adopted dogs and an adopted pussycat. And Floki came up for adoption at a local adoption agency. And he was a bit of a cutie pie, so we went and had a look, and I said to my husband, can we have one more? And I always win, so yes, he said you can have one more. And we went and had a look at him, and look, it's a funny story about Floki. In the book, he's described as a little bit growly and a little bit bitey at the beginning, and he really was. He was a bitey, funny little person, and we kind of thought, we can heal him, we can put him in with the others, and we can shower him with love, and we can turn him around. And we absolutely did. And he's a little cutie, loving little bundle that he is today. So, yeah, it is absolutely based on a true story. And may I just add, all the characters, the dogs and cats in the story are real. And my illustrator, you mentioned the illustrations, my illustrator, Bridget, actually drew the illustrations from photographs of my real animals.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, that adds such a wonderful dimension to the story. Your husband's a smart man. He lets his wife get her way, which is smart, particularly when it comes to dogs. That's great. And I do think that
Absolutely.
most dogs, when they come out of a shelter, they're a little scared, they're a little traumatized, so they tend to be a little protective and nippy. And with some love and some patience and some other animals around, they learn to fit into the family. A big theme of the book, of course, is finding your special purpose. Talk to us about why that's the theme of the book and what message you hope to send to readers.
Well, they've sort of done research on rescue dogs, and they do believe it takes something like 3 months for a rescue dog to decompress and to find their way in their new home, and as was the case with Floki. So, I sort of thought, well, he needs to go out on an adventure and find himself, and all the other creatures here at home they did have little special things they could do, which when you read the book you'll see what they are. And Floki I thought, well, he needs to find himself, and I suppose it's a universal message to everybody. It just kind of flowed as I wrote the book, and that universal message came through that we all do have our own special little something. We've just got to find it. And it just fitted really well with this funny, growly little dog that he needed to find himself. And it worked perfectly, Logan.
Exactly. Well, what's your superpower? Or if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, you know what? I would love to be. I think I'm a bit of a frustrated rock goddess. I think I should have been a rock star. So I
Ah.
really think I would have loved to have had an amazing singing voice and be able to get up on stage and sing.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I think you're a hidden rock star. You're a rock star of children's literature now. So that's a great thing. So you might not be a rock
Thank you.
star in the rock world, but you're rocking out in the literature world, and that's wonderful. Talk to us a little bit about the collaboration with Bridget, your illustrator, and how you got those pictures to come to life in the book to tell the story so well.
Well, as I said, I was, I'm very fortunate that the characters in the book are actually real little creatures, and I really wanted the book illustrations to reflect their personalities and to really look like them. And within consultation with her, I said, how about if I send you photos of them? Can you draw from the photographs? And she was quite excited about that idea. And I wanted it to be as real as it could be. And they're all such quirky little people, and she agreed to that. So I'd send off the photos to her and she'd start sketching, and she'd send me the sketches as they were developing, and she just did the most beautiful job, and the characters of each of them really shine through in the book. They're all so different. They're like people. Their personalities are all very unique, and so she captured it. She really did, Logan. Yes.
Right. Absolutely. Well, it's such a great blend of your prose, your writing, and her pictures. It really brings the story to life. And the animal friends are wonderful. Magpie, wallaby, lizard. And are those real animals in your life? Tell us about them.
Well, I'm glad you asked me about that because just before our interview, I was looking out the window. I was just kind of grounding myself, and I thought, just get grounded and get ready for this. I looked out the window, and there was a wallaby with a
Wow.
joey in her pouch. And she was only probably 20 feet from our house.
Wow.
So I can just explain we do live in the bush, so it is set in the bush. We live in a suburb called Canoolans, which is about 2 hours out from the city of Sydney. And our backyard is Marramara National Park. So it's thousands of hectares of thick bush, just as it probably has been for hundreds of years. So absolutely, we have magpies. I actually have a magpie friend that I've been feeding for 10 years, and she comes to me when I whistle. So magpies abound, bird life abound. As I just said, wallabies, I have to put a fence around our veggie patch, otherwise the wallabies would eat all our vegetables.
Wonderful.
And we have lizards, from tiny little lizards to gigantic goannas. So we do live in the Wild West out here. It really is wild country.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, it was great inspiration for the book, great inspiration for the story. Rescue pets play a big role in your story. Are you hoping to send a message to people about adoption by talking about rescue pets?
Look, absolutely. It would be an absolute dream come true. If we can even turn one family around where they want to add a family pet to the family. If one family thinks of adoption rather than buying a puppy I've done my duty. So I really would love to position Floki as a worldwide ambassador for adoption, and I've sort of made the hashtag adopt don't shop as kind of his, and I've started a hashtag Floki the Rescue Chihuahua. So if we can position Floki to be a funny, fluffy little world ambassador for adoption. My dreams have been answered, Logan. It's very, very close to my heart, and I'm very passionate about it.
Oh, yeah, I love dogs too. And when you can rescue a dog, it's a wonderful feeling. It's like giving them a second chance at life. And I think that is great. Have you envisioned Floki's story as a video or cartoon or a film or something like that?
Absolutely. I mean, you're probably aware of Bluey, the blue cattle dog that,
Hmm.
became quite famous. Floki I could see him as a cartoon. I could see him as a stage play. I could see him as a puppet show.
Yep.
And he could just keep having incredible adventures. Floki could travel to another country and meet up with the street dogs in India or Bali it's really never say never. Anything could
Exactly.
happen, Logan. I
Exactly.
mean, this has happened to me, and I'm sort of totally going, oh my goodness, how has this happened to me?
Yeah.
So I think it says anything is possible.
Yep. Well, it all began with your good heart because you decided to open up your home to a rescue puppy. And from there became the inspiration for the book. And of course, that opened up the doors to a lot of different things like having you on our show today, which is wonderful. Have you had the opportunity to read Floki to any children?
Well, let me tell you. So, after the book was published, I came up with the idea of going into schools and doing book readings.
Mhm.
So, I have done many, many of my beautiful little local schools and daycare centres, and I go in and read my book. So, I make an initial email contact, I tell them what my story's about, and I go into schools and read, usually from kindy to about level two children. And I go in and I wear a little set of doggy ears I put on, and it's my little costume, and I've got a little chihuahua t-shirt, and I go in and read to the children. And the first time I did it, it was it was a stretch for me to do, like anything you do for the first time. And now I just absolutely love going and reading to children. I've read to 120 kids, was my biggest reading. And what generally happens is the school will buy the book and put it into the school library.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, that's great. That must be a lot of fun going in with the dog ears. Do you wear a tail
Yes.
also or no tail?
No, no tail because I'm sitting down.
Okay.
So
Okay, your tail
no
was docked. You
tail.
don't have a tail. Gotcha.
That's right.
Do you have the real life Fluky there, don't you?
He is right here.
Do you want him to join us on camera for a second?
Do you want to join? Do
Because
you want to say hello?
I think the folks at home would love to see this beautiful puppy that inspired this
Say
wonderful
hello.
book. And he's a little camera shy. He's wrestling out of your hands there. You can give him back to Daddy. We just wanted to see him for a second, but he's a beautiful
There
long-haired
he is.
Chihuahua. It's amazing that he was a rescue pup. Who would put a little dog like that up for adoption? He's so beautiful, right?
Well, apparently he did belong to an elderly couple, and because of his little growling and his little bitey growling thing, they felt a bit bullied by him. So this tiny little, I did read statistics the other day. The domestic or the Chihuahua still contains 0.02% wolf.
Really? Amazing. Well, it's a tiny little wolf, and I doubt those tiny little teeth would do anything other than hurt your finger a little bit. Well, we're glad
That's
that
right.
Floki made his way into your home, into your hearts, and we're delighted that Floki is the inspiration for this wonderful book. And of course, the name of the book is Floki, the story of a fluffy little rescue chihuahua. It is a joyful, heartwarming adventure about belonging, bravery, and believing in your own special magic. Di, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Logan, for giving me this opportunity. I'm very, very grateful. It's been so lovely.
Well, it's been lovely speaking to you as well. I appreciate your time, your energy, and the wonderful talent you put into crafting this great book and the great heart you had in opening up your home to Floki. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.